Live from the internet and recorded on October 30th, 2018. This is the Crystal Chronicles Halloween edition. My name... I mean, your DCDF Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast. Everything is out of whack because I am wearing my son's llama head costume. For those of you in audio only, it's a giant llama foam head that I'm wearing, and nobody knew it was coming, so it kind of scared the crap out of everyone, people on Twitch and my own co-hosts, so sorry about that. That was a joke I wanted to make. So good evening everyone again. This is the Crystal Chronicles, your official, unofficial Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast, episode number 28, again recorded on October 30th. My name is Pierre. I am joined by you, as usual, by my friends and co-host Mark and Mino. Good evening, guys.
Happy Halloween.
Winamp, it really whips the llama's ass.
That was not rehearsed.
No, it was not. It was not. And I wanted to keep the surprise, so hopefully if you're listening to the audio version of this, you'll be really curious about what just happened at the intro, and you'll head on, you'll head for our YouTube channel where you'll be able to witness this great llama-full introduction to our show. So, now that we're all awake by my surprise, see what I did there. Let's get into Dissidia and its awakening, but before that we've got some news to get out of the way. First off, the community stream awards were given on the 29th. That would be yesterday, so I presume when the maintenance concluded. That was 5 armor token, 10 draw tickets, and 3 rogue
relics of all knowledge.
Oh,
yeah, there you go.
There we go. I thought it was the new kind of relics, and I just couldn't figure out.
Those are artifacts of all knowledge.
Oh, huge difference. There we go. A new thing that was added to the game are the Kupo mini cards. So after getting Kupo cards and then not getting Kupo cards forever, they just got tired of her whining, and they decide to add a new type of Kupo card, the Kupo mini card. Basically, on purchase, you get 800 gems, and then you get 100 gems per day for 7 days for a grand total of 1,500 gems. Is it worth the money? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Perfect segue. I wanted to jump in on that because I saw someone crunch the numbers.
I know, I saw it.
Yeah, you saw it. First of all, I applaud Square Enix for giving us more and more ways to spend, because I know everyone complains about how high gem prices are, so it looks like they keep giving us cheaper and cheaper options, which is nice. But someone crunched the numbers. Better value than the gem sales they have monthly, slightly worse value than the bigger Kupo cards, which sounds about fair. I still think it's in a good spot.
So yeah, that's Zero, Z-E-R-O, Saber, 0, letter 0, on Reddit, crunch the numbers for us, and so it is 0.00333 per gem, cents per gem over 7 days with the mini Kupo card versus 0.00303 cents for the Kupo silver, and 0.00300 per gem over the 30 days for the Kupo gold, versus the limited chests, which are in the 4 and 5s. So definitely the Kupo cards are the best value per gem, and the mini card is right worth it. So right close to it.
Cool. So there you go. If you're looking for ways, was that?
I said it's $5 in the United States. So $4.99.
Well, it was $6.99 here, so I jumped on it anyway. But that's not a real indication because I got all of the other Kupo cards anyway. So, Mino, are you a Kupo card fan?
Whoa, hold on. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
This is the Crystal Chronicle. You're on the air.
Sorry, I mean, Discord keeps saying I'm getting disconnected from the call. But
you're getting disconnected.
I personally don't buy the cards, even though I think they're a good deal, because I try not to spend unless I have to, which has only been a couple of times.
Did you get the costumes for Yuna and Remza?
I always get the costumes. See, I feel like the costumes are a mandatory purchase for me already, so cards are gonna like almost double the amount I spend on the game if I get all the cards.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, what are they? $35 each US?
Yes, $34.99, I believe.
Yeah, but yeah, it's still a bit pricey. Do we know in the crunch the number kind of thing if they're a good value for your money? Did they?
The costume chest?
Yeah.
Yeah, the costume chest would be 0.00411
So
cents per gem plus the costume.
Sorry, so not the best value, but not the worst.
It is the best value besides the Kupo cards.
Okay.
Of the 4 gems, of the 4 sale chests, limited chest 1, 2, 3, 4, it is 3 is the best value.
So anything but chest are better than chest. That's
Yes.
the takeaway here. All right.
Yes.
Crystal Awakening campaign. As we talked last week when we went over the stream preview for what was coming in the game update, we talked about the triple effect support items. So, like Guy Fieri would say, it's the triple D, except that it's not food related. It's all about more XP, more gil, and more items. We all received 2 of each in the login bonuses on the 29th, and basically you can buy them. I was under the impression that it was a time limited thing. Was I wrong, or again?
Maybe the sale is time limited.
Yeah, something about the sale is time limited. I don't know if that means the reduced prices or if it means we have a limited time to buy these 3 times books. I want to say it might be the latter because I think that's how it is in the Japanese version. Is they're not for sale, they're not available 24/7, only during special.
Yeah, it says artifacts of all knowledge, tome of treasure, tome of fortune, tome of training, 20% off and 25% off respectively. Offer lasts until 11/7, November 7th, 7:59 UTC.
Okay, but will they be taken out of the game after, or do they remain in the game?
That's a good question.
They may not be there.
But
Does anyone in the audience know?
But in the Japanese version, Mino, didn't you just say that they were in and out of the game depending on the campaigns?
I don't know if that was just a sale either now.
Oh.
Now that I'm second guessing myself because we're struggling over this so much. But have any of you guys bought any? I know a lot of people are jumping.
Yeah, I bought some treasure books and I think one tome of training because I got all of my characters at 60, well almost, and I got everyone at almost crystal level 50. I mean, I went all out today, but we'll talk about that shortly. Other than that, the double cycle quest rewards are back. So, No Escape on Twitch is saying he's got 61 XP books. That's what he calls hoarding. Oh wait, you're referring to me? Actually, because I'm showing my screen right now on Twitch. I have no reason to ever use Book of Training normally because I just take the new characters and level them through the cycle quest and it does the job. So until and I never really had the rush to use any of them because I didn't care that much until today where I wanted to get everybody at level 60. But again, more on that coming soon. Let's see. So yeah, double cycle quest rewards. So try to imagine if you pop up one of those tomes of super greater items, that's crystals times 2 times 3. So you can max out those crystals pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, yeah, I didn't even use a tome, and with the double Psycho Crest rewards, you can max out crystals pretty quickly. you know, just having the double is pretty quick, very truthfully. So yeah, unless if you're at 0 for all your crystals, then yeah, you'd pop a ×3 book, and you're not going to be at 0 for very long.
Well, probably past one fight, you're no longer going to be at 0.
That's correct. 100%. Good job. Thank you for listening to the Crystal Chronicles. We have all of your great insights.
Other than that, as we said, there was a game update related with the maintenance yesterday that, in version 1.5 of the game, we've already mentioned the new tomes and all of that. They've also reviewed the Rydia quest. We're going to talk about that later, so I'll just push this aside. They've added artifacts for Quistis, Mariah, Sephiroth, and Lena to the World of Illusions. They've made it easier to get multiple copies of the same items in the exchange shop. You can now use power stones and orbs and items and all of that in the same transaction. So taking one item, and fully limit breaking it and all of that at the same time. That's where it is now. Now here's something. The event Lost Chapter World Illusion entrance have been changed. It kind of makes a lot of sense. Now here's a change they did. Enemy HP bars will now be displayed more accurately when at low HP. It might be just me, but it feels totally out of whack now.
I agree.
Every time I think I'm gonna beat a boss, I keep shaving that stupid bar. It's almost gone. But I never beat the damn thing, and I never had that feeling before.
I agree.
It does get real low. It's real specific. Like, it gets just a little tiny sliver. Yeah, it's like empty on the gas tank. Like, it goes all the way down.
But, I mean, I know people were complaining about, I presume they were complaining about that before because they made a change, but I never saw an issue until today.
Yeah, I think it's something we'll get used to, but yeah, I mean, it's different, obviously. It's just one of those things. I think that your subconscious is going to have to get used to the fact that the bar goes all the way to the end instead of just to the little tip.
Well, it's beyond that. I mean, before, you would time your HP attacks and all that, and you're like, well, I have 2 turns left. I have that much bravery. If I do HP, I'll beat him before his turn. And it always kind of worked, but now every time I get screwed over and the enemy gets it. Anyway, so maybe you're right. Maybe I'll adjust. I'm human. I don't like change. So get off my yarn.
I just realized the dialogue boxes for HP and Brave attack are different depending on what realm the character's from. I just realized that today. So
wait, what?
I'm not an expert at this game. So like if you do HP attack, there's a little box that comes up on the screen that says HP attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that little dialogue box is different for every realm.
Is it?
So it shows the dialogue box as if it was the game. So bring 3 different characters in from 3 different realms, and you will see it like representing that game. So do like Paplamo and do like Ramza and do like Cloud. And you'll see 3 different. Yeah, that's a day 1 thing. That's not new.
Yeah.
I'm just noticing that because someone posted it on Reddit. I've never noticed that before.
Okay, 1 sec. I have to take a look because I really.
Well, when you're talking about HP, I've never been good at that because I've never paid attention.
Yeah, HP's throwing me off because, oh man, I'll think. Okay, I can't see the HP. Like it's flashing.
Right.
It looks like it should be dead. I'll do a Brave plus HP. That should be enough to tip the scales. Nope. Without fail, I've been messing up. So this new thing's really been messing me up. But
okay,
it makes me more aggressive.
I'm just happy it's not just me. That's all I wanted to know because I really felt like I was. It was out of whack. That's
I feel like I'm getting baited into using more abilities to get that quick kill for the score. But I mean, like Pierre said, I'm sure we'll adjust.
either that or we'll rage quit. It's one or the other. Any other game update I forgot?
Tons of character adjustments, but
Yeah,
we can tie that into Awakenings. There's too much to talk about.
Just gonna give my lovely son his little llama head back. So there we go. Yeah, the Awakening. We're gonna address that in a few minutes. Before that, let's talk about the Overcoming Sadness, the Rydia event. When we say Overcoming Sadness, I presume we're talking. Huh?
I said the title is a little bit of yeah.
I mean, we're talking again about the entire dead mother thing, right?
Well, dead everybody, her entire village.
Well, my point is, she kind of overcomes that real quickly, and then there's a whole story arc. It's just weird that it's what they're focusing on.
Well, you mean in the story game? In the story?
Well, the name of the event, it could be like Back from the Sea or From the Summoning's Lands, or nope, Overcoming Sadness. That's Rydia.
I got over that.
She got over it.
She travels with the guy that killed everyone in her. I mean, not directly, but
it's kind of fun the way it's put right back in his face by Seymour. It's like, why would you stay with the guy that killed everybody you ever loved? I'm fine with it now. We're friends. It's cool.
It happens. Bombs blow up. People die. Get over it, Seymour. Still whining about your dead mom. Seriously. Seymour.
So
that's what that whole game is about. People who can't get over the fact that their parents are either dead or jerks.
Oh,
well,
that's true. Right?
That's Final Fantasy VII in a nutshell as well, isn't it?
I don't know about 10. The theme definitely is being haunted by the past. That was the whole thing, right? Spira is being controlled by these old people who should be dead, but they're all lingering around, dictating the lives of the young people. So that was definitely 100% the whole thing about.
Yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen.
Same thing with, there's bad family ties in Final Fantasy VIII as well, where everybody that ended up being together, hey, you know what? We were all orphans at the same freaking place at one point.
It's great.
God, VIII was pretty dumb.
So.
Excuse me. It is the most sacred of the Final Fantasy.
All right, so Rydia in Dissidia, how good or bad is she as a character?
I love Rydia, and I love her. I love her gimmick, and I didn't pull on her.
Same.
For a number of reasons. I like her outfit. I like that we have adult Rydia. That's much nicer than annoying kid Rydia. I like her mechanics. She's got the enchant or empower, or what do we call it? Enchant water. So she enchants everybody with water attack. That's awesome. She has a nice HP attack. That's awesome. But Awakenings came out, so sorry, babe.
Yeah, same sentiments.
The model came out.
She's a great mage if you don't want to awaken Terra or Shantoto for some reason. Like if you just don't want to touch that first wave at all, she'll be useful. But yeah, as I said before too, it's unfortunate timing. She came when right around the corner there are much stronger people in her role. Yeah,
she is still at, and this will tell you, because very few of my characters are lower than Crystal Strength 50. Rydia is at Crystal Strength 1. Because I did not want to spend green crystals because I wanted them so that I could awaken Terra.
And she shares a crystal color with Terra. That's just unfortunate.
Yeah, she's green, like her outfit and her hair.
See what they did there. All right, now the end of what we could call the "oh my god, this game is so hard" controversia was the Rydia co-op and EX battle, which they as much as Square Enix admitted that, you know, some of the tuning might have been off for the last couple of events, they couldn't do much about it because these events were now part of the past. In the game release, they decided to nerf the level 70 co-op and the EX battle. You guys seems to say that did they undertune it a bit too much? Can we say that without being like super complainish person? Like, because I know someone very wise on this podcast say, in case of doubt, here on the easy side, did they turn the dial too much, or how is it now?
Well, okay, so before this patch, let's talk about the event before this patch. Everyone said it was the hardest co-op yet because I think they just plucked it from the Japanese version, and in the Japanese version, Rydia came out close to the second wave of Awakening, so I think they expected you to have awakened characters already. So the co-op was really hard. I think people were really mad because they were saying even with a full synergy team, it seemed clears were near impossible. And then the EX was a straight damage race. Like, that's all it was. It was kill the boss before the boss kills you. And that was, I think, more frustrating than Lena and Sid if you didn't have the right characters, because there was just no strategy. You just needed the numbers this time. Now let's fast forward to the patch. I'm sure if you're not already aware, there's a quote-unquote bug with the boss now in both co-op and EX, where if you let it do the Big Bang attack, it swells up to max size and then does this HP attack. First of all, the max brave has been lowered from 13,000 to 9,000, so that's really nice. So that's why it makes us question if it was an intentional bug or not, because the max brave was definitely lowered for the boss. And the second thing is, after Big Bang attack, it doesn't summon ads anymore, the little bombs, and it just does single target brave and HP attacks. And that's it. That's the fight. Well, I mean, Pierre, as our resident quote-unquote casual player, self-dubbed, what do you think? Do you think it got too easy?
I fluked it last night when I tried to do it. I tried to do it real quick just before a run to the grocery store, and I kept... this is a bit of a shame. I kept breaking the damn thing, and it kept calling its stupid little fireballs until it made me realize that I need to let it do its own thing. So I'll try it later tonight and get back to you. But it did seem easier, especially in the co-op battle, which I've done a little more. I was able to get through with some pretty shitty partners, and probably they said, I don't know, someone was shitty in the party. Not sure who, but yeah, it was not a great party, and we got through alive. So
I think the co-op's in a perfect place. I think, and Reddit really agrees, is that the co-op should be easy because you're grinding the hell out of that, and you're at the mercy of some RNG because of your partners. You don't know what they're bringing or how they're going to play. So I think they tuned that perfectly, and people are having a lot of fun with it. EX, I don't know, because I was able to beat it without it, but with it, I think it might be an apology so more players can get the rewards before it goes away. Oh, so to let the audience know, I asked Square Enix Josh if this was an intentional bug or not. He said he did not know, and he was going to ask the developers, but he said usually if it was, it's a bug in the favor of the players, and those they usually leave alone because, you know, more power to the players.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll never know the answer to that.
I'll give you some idea. I was able to beat it before the Awakenings, and I brought Waka, Sephiroth, Zaz, and a friend Rydia. And it took me, and I got the complete score. I got all the scores, including the bonus scores, right? 43,508 was my score, which was enough to clear all of them. It took me 101 turns to do that. And it was not easy. I was just messing around before the show and brought Terra, Cloud. Who else did I bring? I didn't have a Rydia in my friends list, so I brought another Terra. and I brought Sephiroth, and got it in 60 turns.
Wow.
That's different.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we'll let the players see for themselves. So again, the banner, I guess we'll skim over really quickly.
Yeah, maybe skip this one.
Yeah, maybe skip this one because there's like stuff coming. All right. Now, I want to talk to you guys about a great game I've discovered today. It's one of the best fun I've had in a long time. Maybe you guys have heard about this little game. It's called the CD Final Fantasy Opera Omnia.
I was wondering where this was going.
I have to say, I was skeptical about the awakening and all of that, and you know, the change it was going to make, the change it was going to bring, and I am totally in love with what I've seen with the game since last night, and especially today. I have, just to give you an idea how much I actually enjoyed playing it today, I did an artifact run, something I haven't done in a long time. Just I've been crying crystals, I've been going back to old fights, I've been having a huge blast with Shantotto, with Terra, with all of them. Sorry, I've got characters up to crystal level 55. I've got everybody at level 60 now. Obviously the 6 characters that could be awakened. I am in love with the change they did to Terra when it comes to her 2 abilities that no longer just eat a freaking turn for no reason. So we were going to have the question of the week later, but since it kind of applies to what we're saying, the question Mark had written was, how are we feeling about 24 hours post-awakening? Quite frankly, my answer is in love with that game over again. I don't remember the last time I've had so much fun playing that game as I did in the last 24 hours.
I agree. I was looking forward to it. When it launched, I stayed up and streamed for about an hour last night and had meetings all day today, but was able to come and just spend about half an hour grinding Cloud and Terra up to level 60, and then went back in, was able to clear both the power and magic chasms, high score issue. So, yeah.
I mean, just for a casual, like, I'm clearly labeled player like me, you know, and I'm just going to read something I said to Mino earlier today because I thought I had it pretty well said. Let me just find it real quick. Nah, I'm not. Okay, here's what I said. I gotta tell you, beating shit, participating in content, clearing missions, and getting rewards totally makes a difference for me. You know, I feel like I'm actually taking part of all of the possibilities in the game. These 2 events, the power thingy and magic, power chasm and magic chasm, just clearing these fights and getting all of the new kind of crystals and seeing like a whole bunch of mission rewards, and it's like, yay, I'm beating stuff now. So yeah, it's really, really, really good. Mino, how do you like your awakenings?
I like them a lot, more than I thought I would, honestly, because I'm always looking ahead at the Japanese version, which I should stop doing, but you know, for research
That's
purpose,
unhealthy.
for research purpose, you know, I like to see the game design and the direction the game's going, but the characters are a lot more fun with Awakening. That's without a doubt. So I feel like even if they're stronger than the others, just using the new Furion or Warrior of Light or Terra, they play a lot more fun than the other characters because they can do a lot more now. All these, who else was new? Shantotto feels slightly more fun, although I'll probably never use her outside of this Heretic quest line again.
But wait, her level 60 ability turns Rage Bio and whatever else Bio into a Brave plus HP attack. You're going to tell me this is not going to be a game changer? That she finally gets an HP attack?
If she's enraged.
No, is it? Well,
if she's enraged. But enraged is easier to get now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, getting rage before was nearly impossible.
Now you can do it with Brave. Oh, should we go over the changes one by one later? But
yeah, we'll
it is better.
Over
but
that.
she has the weakness that all of these late 50 characters like Rydia and Sid have, which is eventually they're gonna cap at 9999.
All right, I've seen that.
And that may sound like a high number, but as we go, like Cloud's cross slash at least has 2 hits, so he can cap a lot higher. Terra's has 15, so
she's good for a while.
Right. So I mean, like every other character other than crappy Ishtola is gonna have more than 1 hit Brave plus HP attacks. So it's gonna hurt her. It's gonna hurt her.
Poor Mary.
All right. So basically, how about we talk real quick about, in case somebody's listening to this and has been living under a rock for the last couple of episodes and especially the last 2 days, and for some reason they're getting out of under that rock to listen to us, for which we appreciate, but you might want to get yourself checked for dehydration or something like that. How do awakening works? What changed? What's the mechanic and all of that?
I just opened my game for the first time in a couple of weeks. What's going on now?
It's Crystal Chronicles: The Awakenings.
Do you want to cover this one, Rev?
Yeah, so Awakenings. Sure, why not? Where are we going? Character updates?
How do Awakening works?
The whole new crystals and stuff.
So if you open your game for the first time in a couple weeks, you will realize if you go to first party, you will notarize. You will have a notary public with you, and you will notice that some of your characters, if you go to, where is it? Enhancements, Crystal Strength, some of your characters have a little star by their name. Do you see that little star by Cloud?
We don't, but we get the idea.
Okay. Anyway, you have it on your phone. Anyway, so yeah, you can see a little star.
Here, let me show it. If you're
Warrior
on
of
Twitch
Light,
or YouTube.
Yishitola, Yoshalanda, Mary, whatever her name is. Cloud, Terra, Shantoto, and I forgot somebody, didn't I?
Furion.
Yeah.
No, you got everyone, right? Yeah.
You did.
So you'll notice a little star by their name, and that means they are ready to be awakened. And to awaken them, you need a new type of crystal called the High Shard. And it is a unique crystal that currently you can only get in 2 places. I guess 3 places technically, but you can get it. And if you don't know this, here's the good news for all of you who aren't very, you might say I'm casual. You can get it in the Trick or Treat token exchange shop. They are expensive. They cost gold tickets. So if you haven't spent your 300 gold tokens, to get that Power Stone, the High Shards cost 10 for your first one, and then there's an option to get 2 more for 30 each, or 3 more for 30 each, I think, right? Or 2 more.
They get you in with a cheap price, and once you're hooked, they raise the price.
You can get 15 High Shards of each color, and that will cost you 70 gold tokens per color. But that's
like 2 treats, right? That's like 2 magic pots.
That's like 2 magic pots, 2.5 magic pots. You're fine. And that's a nice start. So 15 does not seem like a lot. But if you go to one of your characters, the level 51 Crystal Strength only costs 5 shards, and that caps your character to level 60. So that automatically opens up level 60. Level 60 obviously gives your characters more stats. At the end, it gives you a plus 100 attack passive. And I think it's a plus defense passive for everybody else too. But the 100 attack passive is the level 60 passive. It's awesome. for 5 CP. The next one is, I think it's the same. Is it the same for everybody or different for everybody?
It's different for everybody. Just to add on to that last point, though, is a common strategy is to use 5 high shards to awaken all characters, because getting that extra 10 levels makes a huge difference. Like Mark said, it's 200 attack for everybody, roughly 800 to 1,000 max brave for everybody, and then the other stats aren't as important, so who cares? But the point is that's a huge power increase for 5 high shards. You might as well get everyone up to at least help you with the Heretic synergy stuff.
And
plus, it's 600 gems.
Yeah, you're going to get gems. You are going to get a few gems. So that is an option. Now, if you're stingy like me, you might want to hold on to them just for a little bit, just to make sure. But yeah, it's only 5. Then you start getting the option, and one of the nice things is at Crystal Strength 53, all of your characters get plus 50 CP.
Yeah, that's really good.
Which is super awesome. So right now, my Terra is sitting, and Cloud are sitting at 210 CP. Amazing. That's fully limit broke. That's as much as you can get.
You go from looking for CP to looking for things to put in there.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Terra's at 210.
Is she?
CP, yes.
Wow.
Perfectly. Yeah, she's maxed out. It's beautiful. Anyway, the other place that you can get these crystal shards, these very, very delicate, very rare crystal shards, because it just happened, is the Heretic quest. So you can do it by beating the Heretic quests, Power Chasm, Magic Chasm. You can do it by completing missions, which would be bring Warrior Light, bring Cloud, bring Furion, bring Shantano, bring Mary, bring Terra. You can do it by the special missions that go along with them, getting high scores, clearing them, and completing them. All in all, if you complete everything, so if you get all of the tickets, I think you're around 115.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
is that correct? And so that will allow you to get to Crystal Strength 56. Now, obviously, 56 is like plus defense or something stupid, but 55 gives you a nice passive power. Usually the 55 and 60s are related to your abilities. So right now, the highest you can bring your character crystal strength is level 55 or 56 if you spend all your crystals, and level 60. So
okay, so that explains why I haven't seen any 60-60 in my friends list yet.
Right, not possible yet.
56.
If they follow Japanese schedule, we won't have enough until Wave 2 comes.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to make a decision between Wave 1 and 2 characters. And then even Wave 3, because basically you're going to constantly be making decisions. So it's good to look at.
Yeah, and so although we've said it might not be a bad idea to spend 5 shards to level to 60, you may not want to spend all your shards that you're getting right now unless you're planning to use these characters in the long run and you have their 35 and 15 CP weapons, if applicable, and you're going to try to keep them. For example, Cloud and Terra are very good right now. So they're the 2 that I invested in. I know for a fact, Furion can be pretty decent. People are having a lot of fun with him. I know Van is in probably, unless they change it. Vaughn is in the next wave. I have Vaughn fully limit broke. So I'm going to want to save my red crystal shards for Vaughn. Just likewise, I have Shantoto fully limit broke, but I know Squall is coming probably in wave 3. And so I want to save some shards for Squall and his awakening. So.
What was the schedule? Was it 1 wave of awakening per month?
That's what it was in Japanese. There are rumors that it might speed up a little here because, what is it? So Wave 2 comes with Chapter 11 simultaneously, right? They launch at the same time in Japan.
And you would think, it hasn't been announced, but you would think we would probably see Chapter 11 by the end of this month or next month.
Yeah, our data miners have found that there are 2 scheduled huge maintenances this month. The November 7th and then again on the 21st. And they're guessing that the 21st again is going to be probably Chapter 11 or the second wave of Awakening. Because all our scheduled events end there. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we've covered what are awakenings, where we can get.
Someone someone is asking, I'm sorry, someone is asking how many crystals does it take? How many crystals are required to level a character from 50 to 60? That would be 1100 tier 1, 825 tier 2, because they're not, up until this point, especially from 40 to 50, it was the same. So you need 10 of each, 20 of each, 30 of each, etc. That is no longer the case. So 1100 tier 1, 825 tier 2, 550 tier 3, and 275 tier 4. So if we get them at a consistent rate, if we only get 115 each cycle, you're going to need 3 cycles to level 1 character. Now we might get them more, and they might be in all of the token shops. Who knows? But early on, suspect that it's going to be slow going before you can fully awaken and fully max out your awakened characters.
Oh, and I don't know if any of you guys have caught this, but as soon as the patch went up, if you look at the token, you know, where you turn in event tokens, there was one listed for Heretics co-op that was there for the first few hours and then got removed now, so you can't see it now. Yeah. Okay, so you did notice that. So there is a co-op Heretics planned coming in 7 days that are supposed to give you more chances for high shards, and who knows how many they'll give us. So,
and I thought I did hear someone say, and who knows, it's not confirmed. I thought there was maybe potential for 100 more.
That in Japan they did do 100 per co-op, but they also didn't do co-ops until like wave 4. So
that would be,
I have no.
That would be nice, obviously, but let's wait until we see before you start spending all your
right, guys.
Except on characters that you want to use, right? I mean, if you like Shantoto, if you like Furion, if you like Mary, I guess. Who else? Well, Warrior Light. Yeah, if you like Warrior Light, he's got some good stuff too. So yeah, anybody, they're all what they are.
Well, I still think for 5 shards, it's not a bad deal to get them all.
It's not gonna 5 shards is not gonna make or break any awakenings for you. Squall's not gonna come along in wave 3 and you'd be like, I am 5 shards short of the full awakening. I should not have spent that on Shantoto. Like, that's not.
If I level cap Shantoto, and
that'll never never come up.
You told me it wouldn't come to this.
Xeros on Twitch is saying this month will be kind of packed. In Japan, wasn't there 3 waves of awakening and then EX weapon got introduced? And isn't EX weapon introduced at the same time as Noctis from Final Fantasy 15?
I believe EX were introduced before Noctis.
Slightly before.
Yeah, just one event before Noctis.
So if you want to talk about the Japanese schedule, they didn't get EX weapons until wave 3.
Correct.
Which might happen to us because looking at our schedule this week, they purposely slowed down character events because we're getting Kefka, Zack, and then Elise. Or actually, I don't know. Pierre would probably know that name better. It's a French name. But Elise had X with it, and they're pushing her back to next month at least because I think they don't want X's this month yet.
Yep. We're getting the Thancred Lost Chapter solo.
Are you talking about Lilizette?
No, there's a.
Oh, Alice. Yeah.
Alice. Okay, Alice.
Yeah. At least you said it right.
And then the definitely not 3 waves of awakening. That 2 maybe. 2 maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, we could hope for maybe the second one at the end of November. Yeah, that'd be nice.
What you're thinking of, Zyros, is Noctis is the first event character to ever get an EX weapon.
All right. Let's see. Let's cover all of these changes, you know, as these characters got from childhood to puberty. For each of these 6 characters. So what's different with Warrior of Light? What changed with him? What happened?
Okay, I have all these memorized because I'm a nerd, and then you guys can comment on how you feel about these changes.
How we feel about you being a nerd? We feel great about it. That's why you're here.
So I love Warrior of
I've
Light.
been playing
I
with
don't
Tara
think
for the last 24 hours, and I still don't know all of her character changes. So I'm glad someone's got it figured out.
Okay, great. So Warrior of Light, I love him. I'm probably gonna max him out, even though I know there's better White Crystal characters coming. He's probably the worst of the bunch, but that being said, he's still pretty good. The first thing is his shield is now well, his shield's stronger, easy. It's 2.3 times his int brave, so it can shoot up to maybe 6,000 about, maybe a little less, but that's pretty damn good. Whoever he casts it on increases their current brave by 50%, so it's a mini brave battery now. So he can just throw it on people, give them a 50% boost, which is huge, by the way, and a shield. So it's really nice. And then his shield toss now also automatically grants him a shield. So that's insane. And then when he's fully awakened, that becomes a brave plus HP attack as well. So yeah, really, really strong. Also, he has this really strong passive at 54. If you guys ever need a strong awakened character, is that if you get him to crystal level 54 and he has a buff at him at any time, his max brave is increased by 50%.
Oh,
and
wow.
He's the only person in wave 1 with such a strong passive. Everyone else has garbage passes, but his 50% max brave increase, that's huge. Have you guys used him? Do you guys have any thoughts?
I have not used him at all. I'm going to have to, because I'm going to have to bring him along to get those crystal shards.
I've used him a bit. I have his 35 CP, but nothing more than that. I just have a weird relationship with Warrior of Light. Like, I want to like him, but I feel like his playing strategy is a bit wonky. But, you know, maybe I'm just not playing it right. So
I agree it was, but I feel like with these changes, he's a lot smoother to play. For example, you throw the buckler, now you taunt, so the enemy's locked onto him, and he automatically has a shield. So you can just do it at any time, and he's safe. And then when you get the Brave plus HP, that's a Brave plus HP plus a shield plus a taunt.
Well, here's the thing. Now that he automatically gets a shield and that he taunts, the enemy will not really be targeting anybody else, so it kind of makes the other ability a bit irrelevant, except if you want to buff the other person's bravery a bit.
I'm glad you brought that up, because so the shield is useful for AoE attacks. When enemies are targeting all, he cannot absorb that himself. So he can still throw a shield on an ally and give them the battery. Or if there's multiple enemies, it's wasteful to taunt each and every one of them. So it might just be easier to throw a shield on the most targeted ally. And like you said, because it now gives him a 50% brave battery boost, you can just use it offensively now. You see someone at like half brave, you top them off, and they're good to go.
All right, moving on. Tara, I've mentioned the fact that her abilities are now instant cast instead of wasting a turn, which right off the bat is a huge win. What else is new with her favorite semi-human, semi-Esper girl?
Actually, that's pretty much it. The insta-cast is pretty much all she got, but look at how big of a difference it made.
Oh no, it's huge.
Yeah, because for example, Meltdown, when you every time you cast a chant, it was it's now adds her attack, or half her attack, and then 50% of her brave, just like Kane's jump 3, right? Yep. So the chant is that, and then the Meltdown adds an additional 30% if you have the weapon, 20 if you don't. So that's, you add half her attack to her brave, and then 80% of the current brave. So if you and then if you get the crystal level 55, it's even more. So if you've played Terra, you can see that if you use Meltdown at about 30% brave, she's capping, period.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, and then that's already made her so strong that people say she's still one of the best characters to bring to Power Chasm. Even though they resist magic, she can ignore defense and cap her brave out of nothing. So,
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and then Now Chance always gave her buffs. The attacks always gave debuffs. I mean, she's now the new Tidus too. She can debuff speed and defense while hitting them crazy hard. And then she gives herself the equivalent of Saw's buffs. She gives herself 40% attack and 60% max brave. So she doesn't even need Saw's anymore. And
yeah, I brought 2 Terras to the Power Chasm pitch. Yeah, and that's how I got the high score, 84,000 with 2 Terras.
Terra makes everything a joke right now.
Demon Drake on Twitch is asking, he says, so you guys said 5 crystals won't make or break awakenings. If I'm not able to get the 70k score but got all the rest, is that okay? My opinion is that, you know, it's already great if you did that. You probably got a whole lot more than a lot of players. And once you've got those crystals and you made your character stronger, it probably won't hurt you if you give it another spin and maybe increase your score on that point. But I think you've already done a great thing.
Yeah, and Demon Drake, we'll cover some basic strategies, but it's pretty easy to get the crystals, and you have 2 weeks to do this. And Kefka's coming, and he's going to make things easier as well. So I would keep trying.
Yeah, and there's going to be more people with the fully awakened characters, at least level 60 and 55 or 56 crystal strength characters, and they really do help. Obviously, Terra helps in both. Yeah. So the one thing about trying to get the high score is,
depression.
That gives you 10 or 15. It's actually probably more important to try to get all of the character scores. Like bring all of the awakened characters to it. Like you can do it one at a time. You don't have to bring them all at once. If you're, if they don't have weapons and stuff. Because if you clear it, you get bonus mission points, and if you complete it, you get bonus mission points or bonus shards. So the 70,000 maybe 10, 15, 5, whatever it is. But clearing it gives you 15 of each, and completing it gives you 15 of each. So. That might be more important, just to try to do a run with each of the characters so you can get those extra shards.
All right, moving on. Cloud. What's new with Cloud?
What did he get? Well, he got his buffs that he should have got a while ago that made him a lot stronger.
Yeah, a lot of people on Reddit were salty about that one.
Yeah, because he should have been this strong before. But...
Yes.
If you didn't hear, Square Enix Josh said on stream that they purposely held his buffs back because they were afraid he was going to be too strong for too long, and that upset a lot of people.
It's funny because it's his update is +1 ability use to finishing touch.
Yes.
So 2 to 3, so he can have 3 at most.
Yes.
And more damage with Mighty Cross Slash.
Yes, and you would think those wouldn't add up, but they really add up.
Well, they do.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen it.
I can guarantee they actually do make a huge difference.
Yeah, so, 3 guaranteed launches already. It's the key to getting that high score in Power Chasm, by the way. You need his launches to artificially boost your score. And because launches count so much for score, it's going to be a big deal trying to get a lot of score challenges going ahead for sure. I think that's why they held it back. All Cloud got was that extra use of finishing touch and a pretty decently big potency boost to cross slash, but that's all he needed, really.
Personal question: I've got Cloud's organics weapon. Should I think about max limit breaking that? Is it worth it?
Yeah, because he needs that potency increase for cross slash.
He does. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if you have all 3 weapons, then yeah,
Yeah, I think
I guess he gets 4 technically, but
yeah, I know I got the NT Buster, and that one is fully limit broke. I know I got organic. I'm not sure if I got the other weapon, but
well, you definitely want hard edge because that gives you doesn't that give you an extra ability use of finishing touch?
All right.
Hard edge.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, that gives you an extra, and then that gives him all of his buffs. So.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Moving on. Oh, yeah,
Moving
sorry,
on
next.
to Wystola, aka as we like to call her on this podcast, Mary. So if you've been wondering who the hell was that Mary character we were talking about since the beginning of the show, it's Wystola. The name Mary comes from her good friend John, that was co-host on season 1 at the end, who didn't like to pronounce Wystola, so he dubbed her Mary, and it's stuck ever since.
Which is better than what I used to call her, which was all kinds of different things because I could never
Bitch
pronounce
Stola.
No, I think Yoshalanda was often what came out because I could never remember what her name was.
Well.
Yishtola. I can say it. Yishtola.
Nice.
All right.
He did it.
So she's still not super awesome. Oh yeah, so I've got for Cloud I got the Buster Sword, but that's it, and the organic. So all right. For Wystola, she's still not super great, but what did she get?
She didn't get much. That's why she's not super great. In fact, the only improvements she gets is if you hit crystal level 55 and 60 with her, which I think nobody is going to do. But all she did was get potency increases all across the board. So stone does a little more damage. You get a AoE max brave buff to your party on Medica 2, and Medica 2 gives a little more brave, and that's it. And she's honestly, I think, the worst one of this wave and ever, and you should never use crystals on her unless you really, really, really love her.
Poor Mary.
All right. Shantotto.
Ooh, Shantotto's interesting. Okay, so first is her taunt went from 30% to 60%, so that's nice. The biggest thing is she now enters rage mode on brave or HP attacks. It's so much better. Before you needed an HP attack. Now, just first of all, the increased taunt, the 60% taunt, almost makes sure she's going to get hit a lot. So she's going to be in rage. You're going to have easy access to her rage modes. And then if you max her out, Bio becomes a brave plus HP in rage mode. So I think they're pretty decent changes. It's just that I still don't like that her whole kit revolves around getting hit to be stronger.
Yeah, but at least, because the whole point of any freaking game, you can sum it up at don't lose HP. So at least now, your strategy when you use her is not about losing HP, it's just getting hit. So it's not that bad, and her bravery gets crazy high as well. So
yeah, her stats get pretty decent.
So
it's just the problem is she's competing with Terra for one. But if you ever need dark or wind magic, she's your girl.
Yeah, and not a lot. I mean, look for characters that does dark damage.
Yeah, we have just her and Cecil. That's it.
Yeah, and Cecil, the only way he does dark damage is, drum roll, losing HP, which again. Yeah. So anyway, good.
Yeah,
good.
we have a couple on Twitch. Just a couple question and a comment. Demon Drake Za666 says Yishitola is fun. She's a good battery. She is a decent brave battery. She's going to get outshined by some of the coming brave batteries, mainly Sarah and Yuna, and their awakenings, which are on deck. And someone asked a question, right? Tempe-sama, should I spend some gems on Cloud's 15 CP, even though Zach and Kefka are coming?
I did ask him if he had Cloud's 35 CP, and he said he did. So my personal recommendation in this case is max out the 15 CP and then sell the damn thing.
I would also second that. I think if you're trying to pull for Cloud 15, this is a decent banner to do it because Warrior of Light 35 and Furion 35 are not bad to have for consolation prizes if you accidentally get them. And also, Pierre's laughing. But also, I mean,
oops.
What was I going to say? Oh, Cloud is an awakened character. Zach and Kefka are unfortunately going to fall off because they're not going to get their awakening until a year later. So Cloud's going to be stronger in the long run now, and it's a good banner to pull on. So I would go for it.
Yeah,
Well,
if Kefka's going to have a niche for a while, or there are going to be instances where Kefka's going to be useful, right? Before his awakening.
Yeah.
And then after his awakening with his EX, he becomes more useful, obviously, just like everybody else. But the Zac banner, yeah, I mean, Zac is going to be outshined by other tanks with their awakenings, and the real prize on that banner is Laylee, who we're going to have probably a couple more times with his other things. So, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna get a lot of utility out of Cloud, especially if you already have his stuff. So, if you already have his 35 CP, yeah, hopefully you can snag the 15 CP, and even if you try 1 or 2 gem pulls, hopefully down the line the weapon shop will come back, or there will be a new weapon shop with weapon tokens that you can exchange, and you can pick up organics then if you haven't gotten it.
Yeah, personally for me, you just talk about Saz. I feel like Saz dropped from the train as off.
Oh, definitely. We'll talk about this when we go into the battles, because I know Pierre is looking forward to that. But the last character we need to cover is Furion.
Oh, we forgot about Furion. Yeah, just like everybody else.
Now he has a very interesting niche because he's a pseudo battery now.
Yes.
His seize attack now grants everyone in the party. It works almost like Smite, where it grants everyone in the party a fraction of the damage done as Brave, I believe, and that he got a potency increase across the board. We already know his gimmick is when he does a Brave plus HP attack, just like Snow, he gets a fraction of it back. So he's never empty on Brave. So it's kind of safe to keep hitting with him because he has a little buffer afterwards to get hit for. And his 35 CP now and his awakening lets him be a physical battery, which is nice because the only other option you have in the awakening era right now is Y'shtola, and we all know how gimmicky her battery is, which is she needs to sit on max Brave and just keep casting battery until something happens, which I hate, honestly.
Yeah, it feels like wasted turns.
It really, really does.
Yeah, I've seen people using Furion regularly, so.
Yeah, the Brave battery is pretty decent in the all the super high scores in physical Chasm are using him as a Brave battery, and then Cloud to launch. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, over 100,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
So are we ready to move on to the battles? Because it looks like we're getting a lot of questions about how to handle these.
Yeah, before that, let's just cover the banners real quick. We've got a ladies and a gentleman banner. The ladies banner was half price. So I guess it was Ladies' Night at Square Enix because the man had no such pricing difference.
It's because Furion 35 is a new weapon on the Guy banner.
Yeah,
I thought there was talk about both of these being a free pull.
Yeah, there might have been talks, but it never got anywhere.
We did not say that. I thought I heard someone else say that.
Well, they're crazy. In Japanese, usually...
I thought Joshua said, no,
yeah.
Oh, that's funny. While we were talking, a new banner drop.
Oh, yeah, the new Pandemonium... Is it? No, it's Alexander Permanent.
No, well, the banner I see right now, let me pull up my screen, says weekly draw, and it's Hope and Zidane only. So.
Oh, and it has the Alexander weapon too. Oh, it's both. It's double World of Illusion weapon. That's interesting. So if you ever missed Zidane or Hope's World of Illusion weapons, now's the chance to get it. I'm not pulling on this.
So yeah, World of Illusion Alexander is now a permanent thing. So there we go, more gems for the masses. And there's a banner with No Parents Hope and Animal Tail Zidane. It is not half priced.
Well, Zidane really doesn't have parents either. So
yeah, because I think the Hope weapon is new. Is it? Or am I crazy?
I don't remember his
El Blanc.
Yeah.
I don't remember either, but
I don't remember that.
It's both of their 15s, 35s, and World of Illusion, so it's still a 6-weapon banner.
Yeah,
so that's
a 6-weapon banner, just 2 characters instead of 3.
All right, I'm Dom. I'm going to ask a question. You've said it twice already their World of Illusions weapon. Is that like a thing, or what did I miss?
Yeah, so every time a summon comes, they get certain characters get a special weapon that's exclusive to that banner, and it's super rare.
Oh.
It's not necessary, but if you like the character, it makes them a lot stronger. So basically, if you like the character, pull for their super rare weapon. The big one was Squalls that came with Brothers, if you remember. What they do is right now they give invisible buffs and aura buffs, which are extremely rare right now and very strong.
Yep.
Demon Drake says that there was many complaints in Japan that there were too few chances to get the World of Illusion weapons, as everyone and their mother wants the Cloud World of Illusion weapon now.
The Cloud one is good, I think, but I personally wouldn't spend 20 CP on. If you remember, it's debuffing if he uses an ability and it crits.
Right.
Debuffing one buff. I mean, dispelling one buff. Dispelling one buff.
Yeah, Zidane's is an aura. I mean, it gives the party max brave and attack when inflicting debuffs.
That's a random chance right now. It becomes guaranteed on his awakening, but right now that's random.
Right. So.
All right. Heretic Quest, Crystal Awakenings Part 1. Let's cover that real quick. So basically, we've had Heretic Quest before, that kind of mechanic. We've seen it. You've got a few synergy characters that you can bring in all of these battles, but you can also bring everybody else. Difference being that if you clear, let's say, the first Power Chasm battle with a non-synergy character, that character gets restricted. Well, if you have to clear all of the objectives and perfect the battle, and once you do that, any non-synergy character will get restricted from being able to enter the following dungeons under that same quest line, so the power or magic. The idea being that, it is usually very recommended to stick to synergy characters, and it's especially more important in this awakening version of the Heretic Quest, because as you go through the different difficulties and you get to the level 70 difficulty, you're going to get objectives that ask you to bring the awakened characters to the fight to get more heart crystals. So we had some questions. Before that, I just want to have you guys go through the Power Heretic Quest. What were your recommendations? Did you like the fight? I know I've seen a lot of Reddit mentions, and that was my personal experience as well, that the magic side of things was a lot easier than the power one. How did it feel to you guys?
Let's cover magic first, Mark.
Sure.
Because that was the easiest one.
Let's cover
I think
first.
it's so easy because Terra's too strong. That's basically all it boils down to. I honestly think that. I don't even think you need to awaken Terra, and her new instant cast just completely obliterate everything.
So just, level 50 Terra, not awakened, just her new instant cast changes the game that dramatically?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I brought the first run I did. I streamed it last night. I did one run of each, and I cleared, I think, probably both in the 40,000s, maybe 50,000. But I brought Terra 50-50, non-awakened. I brought Shantoto 50-50, non-awakened. And who else did I bring? I'm not sure if I brought Aiko or I brought somebody else silly. But anyway, yeah, I was able to beat it, fairly easily. And then when I was able to actually finally awaken Terra, it got a lot more intense. So I'm trying to look and see where's the glare on my phone here. See which team I brought for. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I brought Terra, Shantoto, and Aiko with a Terra summon for the magic, and my score ended up being 71,000. So that was Terra fully broken, level 56 crystal strength, level 60, just 50-50 Shantoto and Aiko with their weapons. And so able to get 71,000. And that wave is, you start with the turtle. And so if you want to cheese that one, if you start the battle and the turtle has the A, where it's attack, that means it's immediately going to go into its shell, right? Or power itself up. So you can soft reset or just hard reset until he targets one of your characters, and that should give you enough time to kill the turtle, and so he doesn't run into his shell. Then the next one is that the 2, or that's just 1 berserk armor?
Yeah, 1 berserk.
Yeah, so I think when I originally saw the berserk armor, I was like, uh-oh, do I need to bring a Dispeller? If you bring Terra, you don't need a Dispeller because you're just going to kill that thing. And if you don't have Terra and your Terra is not very good, you can bring a friend Terra and just bring it in to deal with the berserk armor before it goes berserk, because that can be really annoying, obviously.
Funny you mentioned that, because as you were saying that, No Escape on Twitch just happened to ask, but what's the best strategy if you don't have Terra's weapons?
No.
It's bring somebody else's Terra that have the
bring
weapons.
Bring a 5.
I was just going to type that, actually. I was just going to type bring somebody else's Terra.
Bring a 5-turn Terra and,
But use her when?
Meltdown.
I would use it on the... Okay, so for me, I brought the 3 synergy characters. I think even without Terra, all of them are fine, because I remember when the turtle went in the shell, Shantoto with Rage Mode was still hitting really hard. And so the shell didn't matter to her. And if you really have a problem, then Y'shtola can battery your party through the shell.
Yeah,
so I think
I brought, because I had to go back and bring Y'shtola, right? So my Y'shtola has nothing. So I cleared this with Terra, Shantoto, and Mary with no weapons. So she wasn't doing anything. So if you have a third character who's decent, like Aiko, or Sarah, or you wouldn't want Sarah because she is ranged, but
Sarah's very. Actually, I've heard a lot of Sarah's because
she can brave battery enough and wound, so that's nice. Yeah. But she does do range damage, which is a pain. But even Vaughn, I've seen some Vaughns brought to this.
Really
fight.
Interesting.
Yeah, so because some of these are wind, right? Wind weakness,
Yeah,
the wind weakness on the last boss. Oh, they're all wind, because of Shantoto. So. Yeah, so Vaughn can do some pretty good damage too.
Right.
With some options. But yeah, your 5-turn Terra is going to just do so much damage.
Yeah, I think you could summon either wave 1 or 2 and be fine, because how all of these heretics seem to be set up is wave 1 is hard, wave 2 is the hardest, and then wave 3 is easy.
Yeah, wave 3 seems easier.
Yeah, so for the magic one, I'd say bring your 3 strongest magic characters. You could bring all 3 of the awakened. I've seen it. If you bring all 3 of the awakened mages, like crystal level 51 and then level 60, I've seen people get the score purely on that. You just spam spells over and over and over. Don't wait, because the battle will be over before you know it. Empty as many meltdowns as you can from Terra. Do as much damage on the turtle. You reach the berserker armor. I would just keep hitting it, and then once it went berserk, I summoned, finished it off, went into the 3rd wave, did the same. There's really no strategy, because there's nothing they can do that's really a threat.
Well, so I guess the question is, so we've been preparing for this. Like, I've been preparing for Awakening since I started playing the game, right? Well, we knew that was going to happen. So, so my Terra and my Cloud fully limit broke. I was prepared for this. But let's say you're a new player. Let's say you don't have any of these characters. Well, especially if you're a new player and you're accumulating all the gems by going through the chapters, lost chapters, just regular gameplay, leveling up, ranking up. You generate tons of gems. Yeah, these are decent banners, because you're going to get 6 characters who you can level up to level 60 pretty easily with these triple books and double XP. And they're going to be useful characters that are going to help you finish content. We've talked about that. For the new player, what should I do? So even, I would gather, even with their 15 CP weapons, or maybe even a 0 limit broke 35 CP weapon, Terra, Shantoto, Y'shtola are going to do something here in this battle.
Yeah, I agree. Like, tell all your friends who were thinking about starting this game to start now.
Yeah,
This is
good
the
time to
best
start.
jumping on point because all 6 of the strongest characters in the game right now are story characters that you get within what the first 3 chapters or something.
Yeah,
Like,
Shantoto's a little later, right?
yeah, you can't miss these characters. You know, they're guaranteed to you. All their banners are here, and Cloud and Terra are gonna last a while, at least a month or 2
And they're
or
2
3.
favorite characters.
Yeah, and then
Aren't
Warrior of
they?
Light is very solid as well. So you really can't go wrong starting this game now. It's impossible for a new player to get bottlenecked here because they just have, you get the characters, you drop a few gems, you're good to go. That's it.
We've mentioned, use somebody else's Terra. I just switch my support character to level 60, crystal level 55, fully limit broke Terra. If you need her, she's there for you. My friend ID is in the show notes, but just in case, it's 908-703-061. I'll be looking out for new friends in the next couple of days and add them so you get the whole 5-turn benefit. So if you want to have a Terra to bring to these fights, mine is at your disposal. Oops, I hit the wrong window. Okay, so now power fight.
Right.
Who do we bring?
All right. So when we said bring double Terra for Magic, I think for power you bring double Cloud. But let's talk about the waves first. I think the very first one's a Behemoth. Decent, regular Behemoth mechanics, decently tough. The second one is 2 armors that buff their defense with Mighty Guard, and I hate them a lot. And then the third one is a Earth Behemoth, which is the easiest thing in the world. Like, from Squall EX, where every time you see him targeting all, you just dump all your HP and then you win. But
why is that? Why is that the good strategy?
Oh, you didn't know from the Squall EX? So every time he targets all, he does a gravity attack, which basically means he steals a portion of all the brave that your characters have. So if they all have 0, he gets nothing, and you won't get broken.
Of course I knew. I was just asking for the benefit of our listeners.
So no
but I'm
breaks,
taking notes.
No breaks, and the less brave you have, the better. So you just build brave, and then when you see him targeting all, you just dump it all. It's super easy. But Rev, you want to talk about how you cleared this first?
Yeah, the first time. So my first run through on the stream, I think, I brought Cloud, Waka, and Zaz because I completely forgot Waka and Zaz were ranged characters. So that was great, but I think I cleared it. I think I eventually brought Cloud, Sephiroth, and Zaz and cleared it with 40-something thousand. Anyway, so I did it a couple more times today. And I don't have what I did the first time, but the second time I did Cloud, Terra, Sephiroth with a Cloud summon and Pandemonium to try to get the extra launch damage, and I ended up with 65,000. I did it another time with a little different setup and got like 66,000. So I went back and I did Cloud, Terra, Sephiroth, and I brought a friend Terra, and I brought Brothers and got 84,000. So
because the Brothers, I believe, give you more.
Oh right, yeah.
Damage
I wanted to say
when you
no, Brothers is Max Brave.
Oh,
Max Brave, yeah. I was gonna say
launch damage.
Oh yeah, Pandemonium's a good choice too. I was gonna say Brothers is the best choice for both because a lot of them resist fire. So Ifrit's definitely not a good choice for magic or power.
The bosses are weak to Earth, so that's why I brought Brothers, and the Max Brave with Terra is nice.
Yes.
Maxing out a lot. Yeah, and so 2 Terras. So I had my Terra and a friend Terra, and of course the bosses are resistant to magic, but she is doing so much damage.
You brought a friend Terra to power?
Yeah, and got 84,000.
Pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I went with a different path. So like he said, Terra's a great pick here still because she's just that broken. We mentioned Meltdown is going to increase her current Brave by more than 80%. So if you cast it at 30-40%, Terra's just going to do max damage. It doesn't matter if they resist because it's just a Brave multiplier. And then the same with Meteor. It's the Brave multiplier by 20-30%, and then whatever damage she does. So no matter what, she's ignoring the defense. She's going to do about 10,000 damage no matter what she uses. What I did was I brought Cloud, Terra, and Furion because I lucked into Furion's 35 CP in one draw. So I just wanted a battery, but you can replace a battery with a Brave Shaver. So what I did was you go through the first fight as normal. The second wave is the troublesome one with the 2 giants. I immediately replaced Terra with Friend Cloud. And then I had Cloud, and Furion. And all they did was launch. Furion would battery, Cloud would launch, and then they would unload their Brave. And then the next Cloud would... And then Furion would get a turn battery, and then the next Cloud would do the same thing. And they would just repeat until... And then, so the summon came up right away. You should summon right away on the second wave, I believe. Do all the launches, because then all your launches line up, and you get a ton of Brave. You should, with that strategy, kill 1.5 giants. Easy. And then it should be a piece of cake through the rest. And your score becomes so high with the launches. I'm not even kidding. I think I overshot because I got late 58 turns, maybe 61 turns, which I think is supposed to be pretty high for the score. And I took like 3 or 4 breaks and maybe 3,000 HP damage. I wasn't careful, and I still got 83,000. It should be a piece of cake. And for Magic, if people are curious, it's under 50 turns to get the score.
About the launch mechanic, I always had a question. Do you get a better score if you do an overkill?
Yes, overkill grants you a better score, and killing on a launch gives you a better score.
Killing on a launch, yeah.
Yeah, and launches in general give you a better score also.
Because sometimes, see, if I launch the enemy and kill him at the same time, and then my second character comes in, sometimes I'll just hit cancel instead of unloading the rest of my bravery on him and just doing like, you know, beating literally the dead horse. But I've always wondered if I was, you know, cutting myself out of some extra score
by not getting the overkill. Overkill is hard to predict, though.
But by not keeping on beating the dead enemy.
Oh,
like on hitting cancel instead of.
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I don't know if you would have spent more turns doing the fight by doing an overkill.
No, because it's been launched. So it doesn't take more turns. I mean, let's say I just launched it by doing an HP attack with Terra, and then I've got number 2 Cloud with all of his Brave, and then Shantotto with all of her Brave, and I hit cancel instead of doing HP attack during the launch.
Yeah, you are definitely cutting off on your score.
Okay.
Because even if you don't cancel and just do a Brave attack, just having follow-up launches adds significantly to the score is one thing. No Escape is saying, I tried that too, but the turn order is so random for launch. So in case people don't know, it's when you launch, as long as your allies are consecutively gonna go next, they're all gonna line up for the launch. So what you want to do here is you want to wait until you get your summon up. Once your summon is up, your entire party lines up for 5 or 6 turns, yes, or more if you break the enemy, and you can just launch as much as you want and get guaranteed full launches the entire time. So wait for the summon to be up, then call your assist cloud, summon, and then go into action. And if anyone has played in the old co-ops when Cecil was like the co-op king, it's the same concept. Cloud 1 launches and builds a ton of Brave, and then everyone else dumps their Brave. Then non-Cloud builds up some Brave with a Brave Shave or a battery. Then Cloud 2 launches. Now he has 0 now. He launches, he builds his Brave. Cloud 1 and non-Cloud empty, and then you repeat, and it's just the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, which helps, in terms of you said Furion is nice too, but Sephiroth is going to still have some utility because him and Cloud work nice together because he can use those. He has 7 uses of Fervent Blow, so he can Octaslash his way to the boss and then Fervent Blow, so he can take the advantage of Cloud's finishing touch. So.
Yeah, like I said, if you don't have a battery. I mean, because Furion's he's the only physical battery. Not everyone's going to get him. Get a Brave Shaver instead. Strong Brave Shaver like Sid or... Oh, since ranged. Sephiroth or Zell or... Hell, even Saz with aim, maybe. Oh, and speaking of Saz, Pierre's favorite part is that because these Awakening characters are so strong and have their own buffs... I've actually seen people take Saz out to get higher scores because he's so fast, but he does so little damage compared to the Awakened characters that he really hurts your score. He'll crank up your turn count for sure. So
he is back where he belongs. Nowhere.
He turns at this point. Through his buffs and...
You guys know what this means, right?
What?
It means that the next banner I pull on, I'm probably gonna get like an off banner 35 CP Zaz.
But
I know
he's gonna start dying really quick.
There we go. Idle on Twitch is saying Heretic quest stressing me out because I can't clear pitch. It got me worried about not being able to do future fights for shards. I have a few good 35 CP weapons on a few characters, but not enough to, MLB them, or just the right setup of characters. It's not for lack of attempting banner pulls, brother, I've got you. I've just been unlucky on what I want and lucky elsewhere. So I could have written this as well. What will we say to that poor soul?
I want to say that, Heino, if you weren't here earlier, we said, don't worry, you have 2 weeks. People are going to get stronger supports. I really believe supports Terra and support Cloud can carry you to at least a clear and get most of the crystals.
Yeah.
If you miss a few of the score challenge shards, I believe it's like 5 shards per tier, right? So it's not a big deal. Really not. You could miss 25 high shards by wave 2 and still have a full awakening. More because Global is giving us more so far. We've got 15 extra with the Halloween co-op that Japan never got, and we're about to get a co-op in a week that's going to give us more too. So I wouldn't worry too much because there's a lot of chances for less hardcore players to get...
Yeah, so to clear the event, you get 5 of each. Clearing the normal ones, you're going to get from going from the first 2, you get shards like the normal, the level 30, level 50. Clearing the pitch, you get 15 just for clearing it. If you bring the characters, you get 15 per character. You only get 5 for completing it. So you got 15 for clearing it, 5 for completing it. Remember, you can use gems to clear it.
That's true. Use gems to clear for the 15 shards. Completely worth it.
Don't you got 100 gems to clear it, and if you have to bring those extra characters, then that's 15 more. So the majority of the shards are coming for the lower levels. So yes, to complete it, to get all 3, if you bring all 3 of the characters, that completes it. There's no score requirements, right, to complete it, except for the minimum requirement.
Right.
So that's 5 more, and then I'm trying to look. So yeah, the 42,000 for power is 5. The 48,000 is 5. The 55,000 is 5. The 62 is 5. And is that it? The 70. So yeah, you're talking 25. If you don't get any of the high scores, you're missing out on 25. And if you're having trouble with all of them, even the 30. I mean, hopefully you'll be able to do the 30 or the 50. Remember, you can grind in the trick or treat to get how many we said, 25 or 20?
15.
15, excuse me, 15. So that 15 is going to allow you to awaken your character, get one of, even minimal gear, Cloud and Terra are going to be useful at level 60 to get through some of this minimal content. And again, yeah, the banners are going to be up for a while. You have opportunity to draw on these banners and get a couple of decent characters that are going to carry you through and at least help you get some gems. So,
And from here on out, we're gonna Lost Chapters give high shards, and we're gonna get co-op events regularly that give us high shards. So,
but yeah,
you're gonna be
because this is my most interesting question. I'm not hearing a lot of chatter on it, but it is though. You know, it's going to be the people who are having struggling getting all of the shards. So, you know, if that's something that you're struggling with, let us know. I'm interested to see, you know, who's struggling and how that, you know, how that's going and what you're struggling with. Is it just the final, you know, the top score, or is it all of it? Because if you're just missing out on 5 shards, I wouldn't worry about it.
All right, here's what we're going to do. The Awakening dungeons are still there for 14 days. If you have more questions, we're going to have a show next week. You can email your questions to kupo@tccpodcast.com. You can leave your questions in YouTube comments, or you know, all of the other social media links we have. We will cover all of the questions we have next week as well. You are more than welcome to join next week when we do the recording live with us on twitch.tv/The Crystal Chronicles. Because this is great. I just really want to move on to the last topic we had, because we're already 90 minutes in.
yes.
But but again, if you have questions, if you're listening to this on the audio, you're struggling to get through, you have questions about Awakening, send us your question by email. What we've been doing on this show is absolutely great, and I hope we can answer more questions with the help of our 2 experts. Mino, the next...
I will say, if you do that, if you tweet us or email us or comment on YouTube, let us know what's in your team, and the email will be the best way to do that. Let us know what's in your team, and maybe we can come up with a strategy to help.
There we go. Mino.
Yeah.
You dropped a bomb on Reddit last Friday, didn't you?
Oh man, we're talking. Oh geez, okay.
So, me and some of the guy, I mean, it all started with a thread on Reddit called "Feeling Left Behind," on which I deeply connected and, you know, felt like I could have wrote that thread myself, and then I went on a 5-minute, you know, whining thing on the last podcast episode, and it I think it triggered something in Mino's OCD, and he went in depth about the whole thing and wrote such an incredibly well documented thread on Reddit about the pacing and power creep of global. You wanna take it from there, Mino?
I mean,
I thought I was on Medium there for a second, not Reddit. So
I don't know what to say, because it's all there in the post, and I feel like I kind of don't want to bring it up because everything's in such a good place now, right? Everyone's happy now. Content's clearable. If you guys want to link it and discuss it,
I will link
it. But I can add to it. But
my question is, did you get, because obviously Reddit being Reddit, we can easily see the comments and all of that, but did you get a lot of feedback privately about your post?
Oh, so much, but it was sad. It was sad feedback, because a lot of people said they loved the game and they felt really sad lately and they didn't know why, and now they know. They're like, we felt it, we didn't know. Seeing all the stats and all, you know, having it so like well put into one place, they finally understand, and then they just wanted to add their voices to change it. And basically the gist of the post, for people that didn't read it, is I said that the rising difficulty is really alienating a lot of players, and it was begging Square Enix to consider lowering the difficulty a bit, just to maintain the player base, you know, retain players so they don't all rage quit, because a lot of people were considering rage quitting because the X's were just near impossible for people who didn't have Saws or Sephiroth or King, you know, it was just getting ridiculous. But I don't want to delve into it too much because I feel like now with Heretics, that problem's behind us, right?
Well,
We have
kind of, sort of. I would play devil's advocate here, and I am finally in the right position to do it. Terra being the new Zaz, and Cloud, you know, more or less also being the new Zaz. How do you get through that if you don't have any of their weapons? I mean, are they incredible enough that even just where they're awakening with no special weapon, they can still kick enough ass to get you through stuff?
Well, here's the difference. So when Zaz hit, Zaz was more powerful than any character we had had by himself. And Zaz made every other character better.
Yep.
And then we started to get more powerful characters, more powerful characters, more powerful characters, all of that kind of stuff. The difference now is, yeah, Cloud and Terra are good right now. They're going to be good for a while. And all the Awakening characters are good right now, and they're going to be good for a while. But then, you know,
except Mary.
Well, she has her uses. Anyway, then we're going to get 6 more of those, and then we're going to get 6 more of those, and then we're going to get, you know, some nice event characters, then we're going to get an Awakened Lost Chapter. So, you know, I think that the reality is we're going to see a lot more characters who are going to be decent as opposed to, you know, one character every week or every other week that's decent, or in the case of Zaz, one character who you needed to have for 3 months. So
yeah, I agree with Mark. And also, speak of the devil, I'm reading some Discord comments too about the current difficulty, and I feel like, so I think Heretic's a lot easier than the EX fights we've had. Can we all agree to that?
yes,
Absolutely.
Because from what I'm reading in Discord, a lot of people can at least complete, if not get the high score, and some of them are getting the high score with these old characters like Sephiroth, Zell, King, because they don't want to awaken, they don't want to spend their high shards, and they're still able to get most of the rewards, if not all of them, with the old characters. And I think that was the gist of the post was, please lower difficulty so we have more options, and it seems like Heretic is going that direction. I think we'll have to wait till the end of the month. Josh even said this to me. He's like, please gather and give me feedback at the end of the month in response to my post to see if the next month's content and Awakening fixes the complaints.
Well,
so I think, yeah.
See, and it's something I told you this afternoon. I cleared the Magic Chasm pitch fight with a score of 35k. All right. My point is, first, I cleared it. All the objectives, I cleared everything. I got the base rewards. I was happy. But here's the thing: not only did that fight felt right, but I feel, you know, going through the fight, that I could go back and do even better than I did, which was something, you know, usually I wouldn't even make it through the EX. It was not fun, and if I did make it through, it was either with gems or saying, well, you know what, that was the best shot I could ever hope at getting. So for me, the way the Heretics are made, and I just can't wait to sit down and go back into these fights and get a higher score and a better score, especially now that everybody's level 60. So for me, being, you know, the casual schmuck, the difficulty level of these battles right now with the Awakening and all is just right. It's extremely enjoyable. What I am worried though is it too casually oriented, and maybe it's going to go the other way around, and it's the hardcore players such as you and Mark that are going to get bored? Is that a thing?
Good question, and I'm gonna say it's still too early to say. I'm gonna wait till the end of the month to make my call. How about you?
yeah, well, yeah, kind of invested at this point, but yeah, I'm not gonna. We'll see how the 2 character events are, Kefka and Zach. We'll see how the Lost Chapter is. We'll see how Chapter 11 is. We'll see how Wave 2 of Heretics are, and yeah, we'll kind of see what other people. Again, we'll see what other people are saying. That's why I said I'm interested to hear if people are struggling with the Heretics and how long you've been playing the game, what have you been drawing on? Are you, like Pierre, just really unlucky? Or are you starting to find is there some hope? Well, I don't got Cloud, or I don't have Cloud, I don't have Terra. Oh, but I got Vaughn. Oh, I have Squall. Are there things coming for you? Is what I'm saying. Is there a future for you in the game? And it's just a few crystal shards away.
To address the chat really quickly, because they were saying that right now about how the score challenges feel a bit high. They're like, it is nice to be able to clear and complete, but the score challenges feel a little ridiculous, like it's balanced around some of the featured characters like Cloud. And I agree, and even if that was the case, which it might be, I feel like it's a lot more fair that the complete is easy to get, and that instead of forcing the characters on you to even get a complete like the EX fights, they're rewarding you for the extra score challenges, which are only a percentage of the rewards. At least the completes are very possible now without any of the characters.
And that's the bulk of your, the bulk of the shards are being able to clear and complete it. And then the extras are just however high score. And that's okay. I mean, that's what I've said. If that's what it is, that's certainly something I'm okay with, that the expectation is, the hardcore players are going to go after that. My only concern is right now shards are so limited. Is there going to be a power gap between those people who are getting all the shards and those people who aren't? And what's that going to look like going forward?
That's a good question.
I guess we'll see. Speaking of going forward, the schedule for the next month, we have the permanent trial of Alexander that dropped during the show 45 minutes ago. Kefka is dropping on November 7th. Zach is dropping on November 14th. These are the last two characters that are dropping without their awakening. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then on November 18th, it's going to be not a trial of lost chapters, but a single lost chapter with Tancred, the He Who Sings of Love. Was that it? Was that the dumb name?
Oh my God. That is He Who Sings of Love. Shut up, Tancred.
Yep, He Who Sings of Love. I need to find in the old archive Mark's rant about the name of that event. It was glorious. So I guess that pretty much covers it. Any last wisdom before we part ways for the week?
Last thing I wanted to say, I forgot to squeeze this in, is anyone having trouble with the Heretics, just bring Terra Friend for Magic, Cloud Friend for Physical, and Summon on the second wave. Burn all your resources on the second wave. That's by far the hardest. The third wave is a pushover. You could go in with no skills and still complete it. I just want, because it looks like a lot of people are saving their summons and abilities to wave 3, and that's what's killing them.
Yep.
Burn it all on wave 2.
That's magic you're talking, right?
Both.
Both? Okay. All right.
Definitely.
Mark, anything else?
Good night.
All right.
Plug in my lights here.
There we go. Again, if you have any questions, anything you want to ask our team of hardcore experts, please send your questions to Kupo at tccpodcast.com. Make sure that you include as much information as possible. We might not say it all on the air, but it'll allow Mark and Mino to shape their recommendations a bit. Otherwise, we're on Twitter, Facebook, all of these things. All the links can be found at tccpodcast.com. Thank you for everybody that was live with us on Twitch tonight. We had a good peak, around 30 people live with us asking questions. It was really super great. We'll see you next week back at our Wednesday usual recording time. This week it was moved because of Halloween happening tomorrow, at least here in these Americas. So that's it. That was episode number, I believe, 28 or 29. Who's keeping count of these things? Thank you so much for being there. Have a good evening and see you next week.